I'm watching and learning from that and hopefully trying to not make the same mistakes. It's his passion. It's not a mistake, it's a passion. I now work for DriveTribe, which is pretty awesome. I did a couple of one-offs. My first one-off with DriveTribe was Bugatti Chiron Supersport, so that was epic.
This car is an exercise in unbelievable numbers. 1,600 horsepower, 2.4 seconds to 60, electronically limited to 273 miles per hour, but unrestricted. It would go on to 304 miles per hour, the fastest speed ever achieved by any production road car.
That was another fly by the seat of the pants journey. Went out there with one cameraman, Tom from Centric, who was just brilliant, and he was like a one-man band, literally one-man band. He was onboard camera on the shoulder, get the drone in the air, and we were, traveling huge distances with this thing because that car just giddies up and gobbles up speed and time. With Andy Wallace in the passenger seat, putting up with my driving.
You don't want the tail swinging around at will.
I was really pleased to do that, and a couple of interviews here and there with them. And then this year, got signed up full-time to do some filming for the show. I was back at Dunsfold recently, and Top Gear has officially left the building. So the old porter cabin, and it was a bit of a gut punch to see that all the helmets and everything were gone. So they seem to have shut down that part of their operation. But I do think that DriveTribe's a really cool place for people to go, fans of the show. Richard Hammond is there doing lots of content. There's stuff there from James May, Jeremy Clarkson. So it's kind of like the phoenix, if you like, from the ashes of Top Gear, where a lot of the audience has migrated to. So they've got a great following, and they're doing great events. So your live shows. But I have quite a giggle. So Mike Fernie is their regular presenter, as well as Richard himself. And they've got, a bit like Top Gear, it's very well researched. They've got really good storylines going. Mike loves tinkering with cars and has the most weird obsession with very spurious models. He's obsessed with Rover. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a sympathy thing or whether there's some family history around. I think maybe there is that. He keeps buying what, in my view, are lemons and then ranting about them, about it being amazing. But that's his thing. But I'm always open to different viewpoints on things, and if he wants to get excited about a diesel-powered Alfa, that's what he'll do. He will go full bore. Like the expression, it's a $100 saddle on a $50 horse. I think never truer than with some of Mike's projects. But I'm watching and learning from that and hopefully trying to not make the same mistakes. It's his passion. It's not a mistake, it's a passion. So we're having a lot of fun. We've been reliving some of the old Top Gear days and doing lots of cool reviews. Yeah, that's a good one to watch. And I think hopefully we'll be out we've got another event next month. But they're really growing quickly. And Richard's daughter, Izzy Hammond, is now also presenting on the show. So it obviously runs in the family. But yeah, we're looking to keep growing that, so it's good. So with the Chiron, the cool part was we actually got to go to Bugatti's HQ. And you go there, it's like you pretend to be a billionaire for the day, just going shopping. But it's cool. So we went through the assembly area, which was amazing, seeing the working facility there, which is, it's immaculate, as you would expect. But still, you've got some of the, you can see Bugatti bucks, you can see some of the test vehicles that are in different states of manufacture with all the components ripped apart, as you would expect in a workshop. Across to the sort of like the sales room, which is this like going into an art studio, where you're picking the leather and everything, because they've got so much input on how you spec your Bugatti, which is a huge decision because you're going to be spending, I don't know how many million they are now, but it's a lot, and you're going to be stuck with it for a while, so you may as well get it right off the bat. But it was pretty cool to go to the source. They're right there on the French border. It's a pretty cool part of Europe. There's some fantastic driving roads. I suppose to just imbue the nature of what that company is. It was not what I thought, actually. Going there, quite surreal, and sort of getting a feeling for where the company's hub is, and a little bit more about the history of the place. So I think that was the idea, was to try and figure out where does the Chiron Supersport really come from. For me, it starts with the 110, which the EB110 was a poster car. It had a really aggressive look. It's interesting because that era, it's EB110, Jaguar XJ220, F40, Diablo, those cars. But really, I thought the two most crazy was the 110 and the 220. They were the sort of the benchmark top speeds. Ironically, Bugatti themselves don't have a 110. I think they're trying to get one back. I'm sure they won't struggle to do so. The history of groundbreaking speed, I think, is what really stood out. And seeing how they do it, like I said, met the German engineers previously that are involved, but actually the assembly area, and also catch up with Andy Wallace, who's heavily involved with everything they do. It's just cool to get that vibe from the real people behind the scenes getting it done. And that's what we got from that film. I think a little bit of that came through. The Bugattis are like spaceships. They're pretty otherworldly. Coolest thing about the Chiron is that I think it's the initial Veyron, it was just a little bit too buttoned down. It was really quite constrained, I think, by the nature of what it had to do to produce the speeds, to keep it stable. And I think what's great with the Chiron is they've livened it up a bit. There's some float in the chassis. They've been quite bold how they allow it to shift weight around. Now it drives like a car. Very powerful one, but you can throw it around. So we've had some good twisties.
But the attack of air hitting this car at speeds above 200 miles an hour, the aero forces are just ridiculous. The centrifugal force in the tyres, 5,000 G.
That's just so much fun. I think what it does really well, now that you can throw the weight around and you can manipulate the chassis to turn it and rotate it as you want, but you can still then just press the send button and just freaking zoom out of these corners. It's just, there's nothing else like it. And it literally mind-bending. Your brain moves inside your head. So I'm not sure how healthy that is, but it's extremely fun. So me and Andy Wallace were doing that, just laughing. And then trying to remember, I've got to talk to the camera a bit, but we were just laughing and laughing and laughing. I don't know, the poor man has to be a passenger to all these journos that terrorise him around the Nürburgring. He's an extremely brave and patient man. And actually, because he did the early speed runs, I think, on McLaren. I think he did the top speed in a McLaren, which, from my experience, when it starts to go into lift, again, he's a bold, brave guy. His career's been like that. Le Mans victories and everything like that. He's the right man for the job.
This month of VINwiki Car Stories is brought to you by Bridgestone. We've talked a lot this year about the Potenza range of tires for sports cars and supercars, but what I'm personally most excited about right now is the Dueler AT Ascent. It is their latest and greatest tire for on-road and off-road capability. I've tried so many tires for my off-road kinds, but this really seems like it's going to be perfect. It's got full-depth interlocking 3D sipes and it is their latest and greatest product, so it should give me all the off-road capability and wet and snow and everything else that I want to put it through, as well as much better road manners. So check them out, as well as the whole range of Bridgestone products, to find out what's perfect for your ride at the link in the description below, and look forward to more amazing content on VINwiki from Bridgestone.